Howdy folks, I wanna upload a quick video today and I don't have time to edit a fishing video, so I'm just gonna walk around the house here and share with you some things that I find funny or interesting, whatever you wanna call it. I just wanna share with you some things, so let's just do that. I'm just gonna walk around the house and then I'm gonna upload this video without any editing. So today is January 20th, and some of you already noticed that Shimano just released the new 2023 Vanquish. That's right, Shimano just released the Vanquish, and they released the Vanquish on January 20th. Now, it appeared to you that they released it on January 19th, because when they released it here in the United States, it was still January 19th. But in Japan, it was released on January 20th. I'm just walking around my house, by the way. Now, those of you that have been with my channel for a while know that it's going to be very difficult for you to find a bigger proponent of that reel than yours truly. In all of my buyer's guides, I always say, if you want the best of the best, the king of the hill, that's Shimano Vanquish. There is no Stella, there is no Exist, nothing. It's just the Vanquish is the best of the best, at least in terms of performance. I'm sorry if the sun is in the camera, but I just want to walk around because I'm restless. It's my neighbor behind me. He has gorgeous background in October. All of these big trees are orange and red. I gotta show you the background in October. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I like the space that I have between my neighbors. We are all spaced out pretty nicely. So Shimano released this reel on January 20th, which just coincidentally is my birthday. That's right, yours truly was born 44 years ago on January 20th in the small country of Bulgaria. A lot of people think I'm Russian. I'm actually not Russian, I'm Bulgarian. Not that there is a big difference. I believe the DNA, the blood of Bulgarians and Russians it has to be at least 70% the same. And I do consider the Russian people and the Bulgarian peoples brotherly peoples. I'm just not Russian, technically I'm Bulgarian. But whatever. This is my neighbor's fence, not mine, but acts as my fence too. This fireplace here is not just cosmetic. That's where all of my mail goes, all of my junk mail. I love burning. I have a lot to burn right now. This grill behind me, if somebody wants a grill and you live in Middle Tennessee, send me email. You can come and pick it up for free. It's just too heavy for me to toss it out in the garbage. Works perfect. It is custom made. Even has gas right now. I just don't need a grill and it takes my space. What else here? I have a deer feeder. We have about, 12 to 15 deer that come to eat every morning. For some reason I find deer very elegant. They're very elegant, they're like a horse. Very thin legs, the way they move and jump over fence. Find them elegant. I couldn't shoot a deer. But yeah, I'm Bulgarian. born on January 20th. And I just find it funny that Shimano, 4 years of waiting for the new Vanquish, and they release it on my birthday. Tell me that's not funny. It's a little bit funny. Other things that are funny about the release video. By the way, I will put Shimano's release video in the description below. Go check it out. It's only 3 minutes. But if you don't watch the release video, you're not gonna understand what I'm talking about right now. Because Shimano is talking about specific qualities of the new Vanquish in that video that I want to discuss right now. And I find it, the release video, very interesting, as all of Shimano's recent marketing videos, they all talk about things that I talk about in my videos all the time. This is not the end of my backyard, but from here to the white fence, I think it's a pretty good backyard. I actually want to buy a couple of lots of this land behind me. I don't need any more land. My property is 0.7 acres, and I'm gonna be building a new external garage here, because even though I have 3-car garage, I have 3 cars and all of them sit outside. My 3-car garage is strictly fishing. Just my boat and shelves of fishing tackle. I'm not bringing any vehicles inside of my house. So I want to build a external garage here to put my truck in it, or just junk. But I don't want to put anything truck or junk in the house. Shimano, let's talk about this Vanquish. I'm gonna make another circle around the house. By the way, my land goes further that way, but there is a utility on my land that the city has the right to drive on this little road here and access the utility, which is on my property, but the city has the right to, that's in the the agreement. The city has the right to always come and inspect the utility over there. So here's some interesting things about this Vanquish. But I want to start actually, I don't know how much time I have, 8 minutes of the video. Let me start a little further back. I'm just walking around and yapping. Let me hold with the other hand a little bit. It's funny. I have some kind of a nostalgia. I have some kind of nostalgia sometimes to the young iFish. To the young iFish. My channel is actually kind of old. Even though it's not very big, but it started in 2018. I remember the days, many of you probably feel like that right now, but I remember the days when I had like 221 subscribers, but I still thought, even though I had 221 subscribers, I still thought that next year, this time, I'm gonna have 1 million subscribers, and I'm gonna be making $100,000 a year from YouTube, and I'm gonna be rich. That's what I thought, and a lot of people who are starting YouTube channels right now, that's what they think. But I had passion, man. I had the positive energy. I don't have this anymore. It's only 5 years later, but I'm doing this because I enjoy it, but I don't have the same drive, positive. Yeah, next year I'm gonna be a millionaire, I'm gonna be rich. Excuse me if I'm blabbing a little bit too much about myself and not about the real. But it is my birthday after all, so your extra 15 minutes of attention, I will consider this a birthday gift for those of you who watch it, I had this positive energy. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Here we go, 220. Next time 230, 240 subscribers. Soon we're gonna have 300 subscribers. With this positive energy. And I still remember the first time I got one of the Daiwa released their Legalis LT family of reels. You know all about them now. I've talked about them almost only about them. But when I was doing the review, at that time, when people wanted to say something nice about a reel, they would say, wow, it's so smooth, it's so light, oh, smooth like butter, oh, it's smooth. And I remember, yeah, it's smooth. But when I did my reviews of these LT reels, I said, man, this reel turns so easy. And I knew that this is inertia. And I remember I talked about inertia and resistance before anybody in United States, at least. I don't speak Japanese. The Japanese, they have attention to detail. Maybe somebody in Japan did, but I remember when I talked about these LT reels from the Daiwa family, I said, man, the difference between a Legalis LT and a Fluger is not in the smoothness, because even a Fluger, even some Chinese reels today are so smooth. Smoothness is no longer a dimension on which you can differentiate between reels, because a lot of reels are smooth. And I started talking about startup inertia, resistance, some other things. And I don't believe that Daiwa, when they released the LT reels, they realized that they had made a big improvement about the inertia, the startup inertia of these LT reels, and improvement in the also in the resistance of these reels. They didn't realize that because that was not in any of their marketing videos when they released the new reels. I don't know why I'm walking here, but I gotta walk somewhere. I'm restless, but this is kind of the edge of my property. Not that I can build anything here. Daiwa was not talking about inertia. No, even Daiwa was not. Nobody that I know. Not what was his name? The guy who had a really good channel. Tackle Advisors. Not even Tackle Advisors. Nobody was talking about inertia. Not Daiwa, not Tackle. Nobody. But I talked about inertia and resistance. And then I don't think Daiwa realized that their reel was. I think Daiwa just, they wanted to make a light reel, the lightest as possible. So they just cut a lot of weight from the rotor, and all of a sudden the reel had very low startup inertia, but they didn't know about it. Maybe some Daiwa engineer did, and he probably told the marketing guy, listen, the new model has very low startup inertia. And probably the marketing guy was, startup what? Like, that's not something that people talk about. We're not gonna put this in the marketing video. So Daiwa didn't even advertise this startup inertia on these reels. But I talked about it, and I remember one day when the new Luvias came, the Luvias 2020. I'm gonna put a link to that video in the description below. I criticized Daiwa harshly. I criticized them good. I thought this Luvias $300 reel feels like a Legalis. Yeah, it's lighter, but because of the resistance was not lower than Legalis. Because the resistance was the same like on a Legalis, and the drag was the same, it felt the same and sounded the same. I criticized it harshly. Then Shimano came up with the Vanfort. And all of a sudden, in the marketing video of Shimano, they started talking about startup inertia and resistance. All of a sudden, Shimano, I felt so, oh my god, I've been talking about this for years. Now Shimano's talking about it, and now all of a sudden everybody's talking about resistance. Now all of a sudden, tactical basin, they say, oh, because resistance. Now the word resistance and startup inertia has some recognition, at least in the ultralight circles. Some people still don't know what inertia really means. But the words now do have some kind of recognition. The other thing I talked about was, remember the drag sound? I mean, drag sound, I love it. Why is it, especially these bait casting reels, they don't have a clicker at all. Watch my old videos from 2018, 2019. I would buy a Daiwa Shrapnel $300 reel and fish it for catfish just because it had a clicking drag. The sound of the drag was, I couldn't live without it, and it had to be good. But when I did this, I talked about sound of drag in 2018 and 2019. Everybody was again, what difference does the sound of drag make? If the reel is smooth and wide, I mean, it's full. Yeah, but it took from my experience. So, you know, little by little, some people started mentioning it, the sound of drag, especially in the BFS circles. It became a thing in the BFS circles. But then Shimano again, I forgot with which model and which reel, but Shimano released a new feature that says exciting drag sound. I don't know, maybe it was Daiwa, but Daiwa or Shimano, one of the two brands, released a new feature called exciting drag sound. Now all of a sudden, the big manufacturers in Japan at least are paying attention to the drag sound. Okay? And after all of the bitching about how muffled the sound of the Luvias is, when Daiwa released the new Presso, which is just a Luvias without the mag seal and some other seals, but they put a different spool that is thinner, more metallic, more vibrant, and the sound is louder now. They fixed the drag sound of the new Presso. So I felt like, again, man, I've been talking about this, and now Daiwa changed it. And even Shimano is introducing this exciting drag feature on their reels. I've been talking about this, and I feel like, oh man, something is happening here, but I just can't get any, I don't know, I can't get anything out of this. So now, this guy sent me from Washington the new, not now, that was a few months ago, the brand new Exist 2022 and the brand new Stella. And I'm fishing them like ultralight reels, and I'm not looking for this kind of stuff at all. When I test ultralight reels, what am I looking for? You know, smooth, light, low resistance, good line lay, this kind of stuff. But I notice just completely just by, whoa, you scare me, dude. This is my neighbor's dog. I hate this dog and love it at the same time, because I don't want to have a dog, but I have both trucks here that sleep outside the house, and I like the fact that my neighbor has a dog right on the other side of these trees that separate us. So when people, if anybody would come close, the dog would bark. So I kind of like that way. I myself don't need to get a dog. I have cameras, of course, but camera is not the same as a dog. I appreciate that there is a dog barking if somebody comes here. But where was I? Man, I totally this dog chased my thought out of my head. So these two, the Exist and the Stella, I'm testing them, and I just noticed completely by luck. Man, why do I keep feeling that the new Stella, you reel with the new Stella with a lot less resistance compared to the Exist? And I examined everything. You can watch my review of the Stella versus Exist. I'll put that video in the description below too. And I'm like, man, they have the same retrieve speed. They have the same rotor. They have the same everything. And actually it's the Daiwa that has the larger handle. It's the Daiwa that should reel easier. And yet, even though the Daiwa had the larger handle, just watch my video, man. Please watch my video. It's in the middle of the video. 5 minutes I talk about this. Why the damn Stella feels so much easier to reel with compared to the Exist. I even went on the lake just for 1 hour, doing nothing, just overloading both reels with huge cranks for salmon. 20 feet deep, I'm dragging them, and the boat is going like mile and a half, and I'm retrieving. I just overloaded them to be certain before I report something like this, that the Stella retrieves with a lot less effort, with exactly the same load. Now on this video today or yesterday, depending on your time zone, Shimano says they changed the geometry on the teeth of the Stella. I don't speak Japanese, but I don't think Shimano announced that when they released the actual Stella. Maybe in Japan they did. I don't speak Japanese, but I haven't seen a video released in English that says that Shimano changed the geometry of the teeth. And I don't want to get into the details of this change because it's really kind of technical, but I don't know, there is more surface, the approach angle of the teeth is different now, and because of that, in this video that released now they say it takes a lot less effort to reel with the Stella compared to other reels or to previous Shimano reels. And look at this pattern, man. Every time I notice something, later the marketing teams of Daiwa and Shimano, they come and they release a video underlining or highlighting this specific thing. And Shimano was sure to play the drag sound in the video, and the drag sound sounds amazing, very crisp, very loud. So yeah, the Vanquish will inherit this from the Stella, will inherit this new gear design with a different geometry of the teeth, which reduce the effort that is necessary to reel. So I mean, I don't have to tell you, I haven't seen the reel, but you already know that the new Vanquish will be the best ultralight reel in the world. The old Vanquish is. So, and I'm sure the new one is better than the old one because Shimano doesn't play these Daiwa games. Daiwa will release Luvias, but it's not Luvias. It will release Presso, but it's not Presso. Will release Airity, but it's not Airity. Daiwa keeps playing these games. When Shimano releases Vanquish, it will be a proper Vanquish, and it will be the best the best ultralight reel on the market for another 5 years. I will order it as soon as possible, but I'm gonna go on a limb and tell you right now, it will be the best ultralight reel for the next 5 years. Yeah, Daiwa will probably release a Presso Limited, which will be a proper Presso, but the odds are it's not gonna be better than the Vanquish because the Stella is better than the Exist. So that's the reason. The Stella is better than Exist. Shimano has some new tricks up its sleeve with this new gear design that Daiwa doesn't have yet. So I'm just pretty certain that even when the 2023 Presso Limited comes out, and it will not be Luvias anymore, it will be a proper ultralight trout flagship, probably based off the Exist, not based off the Luvias. It will be with magnesium body and all of that. But I still think the Vanquish will be the performance leader for the next 5 years. So if you want to have the best, you can go ahead and put your order on that. The only thing is, these reels later you can find them with discounts. If you order them right now, you're gonna pay premium. But people who order the best, they don't care if they pay extra $30, $40, $50. So even I don't care. I care for $50, but I have to have this reel. And what good is a Vanquish review 6 months after the release? If I want to do a review of this reel, I have to review it as soon as it's available. Otherwise, nobody will watch that video. That's the sad truth. Alright folks, this is a 28-minute long video. Thank you to everybody who stayed to the end of my video. I realized there was a little bit of a rant there, or whatever you want to call it. But I just feel I wanted to get this out. Every time I talk about something in my videos, later the marketing teams of these companies, they come and they take advantage of it. They highlight it and they take advantage of it, even though they didn't take advantage of it when they released that actual reel or that technology. But thanks to everybody who stayed to the end of the video. I consider this my birthday gift. See you soon. Bye bye.